Opinion continues to be divided over the actual price which petrol should be sold in Nigeria. The Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, Melekari, said the only reason Nigerians still buy petrol at 169 naira per litre is because of subsidy paid by the federal government on the commodity. Speaking at a function in Abuja, Kari said it is not possible for Nigerians to buy fuel at 169 naira per litre when the actual cost is twice that amount. He insisted that petrol will cost 400 naira per litre without subsidy. Nikhil, will it make any difference? Nigerians are already struggling.
There's a big difference between 169 naira and 400 naira, or 410, which is actually the current landing cost, that is minus subsidy. If subsidy is taken out of the equation, we will be buying petrol at 410 naira per litre. But again, that depends on the prevailing global pricing of the product. Some time ago, before Putin launched his senseless war in Ukraine, it was way cheaper, and it felt like subsidy, the quantum of subsidy was not as significant as we now have it. The higher the price in the global market, the higher the subsidy that you will pay. Remember when we slipped into recession, one of the big reasons for which we slipped into recession was the fact that oil prices crashed, came down to, I think, about, at a point it was even like $27 per barrel. Now, consider the fact that these days it's hovering around even $100 per barrel. So there's a big difference. If the prevailing global prices, if it comes down significantly, we won't have to pay 410 naira per litre. But this 400 naira per litre that Mele Kyari was talking about is based on the current crude oil prices. And you know, crude oil, if crude oil is 100 naira per litre, $100 per barrel, by the time it is refined, the cost will go higher, because it is in that crude form that it is even sold at that price. So by the time it's refined, the cost will go up, and then when you add freighting cost and all that, the cost of bringing it, since our refineries are literally moribund, we have to bring the product in from other parts of the world. By the time you add all of those costs, it naturally drives up the price. If we would, if we are able to stop importation of these products, definitely the price will come down. Definitely. And that's why I'm not happy that in 7 years, the government didn't come up with any concrete plan to build refineries of its own. You see some states in America having more than 20 refineries, just one state. Big refineries, not all those small refineries, big refineries, you know. I think in India we have a refinery with a capacity to do more than 800,000 barrels a day. 800,000, which is bigger than some. I've heard people talk about Dangote refinery as the biggest. I don't know where they got those facts from, you know. In India, there's a refinery doing 800,000. So what really was the problem, that even if we had to do a sort of partnership, get into a partnership with a foreign company to build, operate and transfer for us, why couldn't we build a refinery? Angola in the last few years managed to add to their refinery count through this same build, operate and transfer module. So why couldn't we do it? Because that's why we are suffering.
Reported that all marketers and experts will not stop arguing that petrol subsidy is wasteful and unsustainable.
Honestly, a time has to come that subsidy must give way. It is not something that is sustainable. It's not sustainable. You know, the way it is like, if you don't subsidize, it is trouble. If you subsidize, it is also trouble. But Nigeria cannot continue this way. We are waiting, Nigeria is waiting for Dangote Refinery. You know, the GCO once said that, okay, with Dangote, the Dangote Refinery, you know, producing 650,000 barrels per day, that's about, I think, 15 million liters daily. Then plus the 4 refineries we have, if they are turned around, according to him, those ones will give us a combined production of 18 million liters, you know. But the issue is that I don't know why I'm not inspired. Even though it's been said that by mid next year, Dangote will start operating. You know why I'm not inspired? I'm not inspired by what Kyari has said, especially with regard to the refineries we have. Because I know that many times funds have been devoted to what they call turnaround maintenance that did not yield any turnaround. That's the issue. That's the problem here. Many times we've heard of TAM, but there has been no turnaround. That's the truth. For a long, it looks like, I don't know why we are so much blessed with oil in this country. Why a blessing has become a curse. Oil is big business in Nigeria for exports and even for local consumption. How come successive governments have not been able to make the refineries work? How come is it that we have been paying refinery workers who are doing nothing? I mean, it's in this country you pay people for doing nothing.
And they are among the highest paid.
I don't understand it. If you can't run these refineries, why don't you give it to people who can do it on BOT basis? And let's have the country running. Look, whether we like it or not, subsidy will go. Otherwise, you are calling for a serious economy, an implosion. Subsidy will have to go. But then, if subsidy goes and people are buying PMS at 410 or 400, you are looking for crisis. So the best thing is to stop importation. Just imagine how much we are going to save, how much the country will save when we don't have to subsidize fuel imports. So I think we need to be very serious with getting refineries working locally. That's the way out. Otherwise, we continue to tell the same story.
All right, Bikio, there is no date yet for stoppage of subsidy payments, but then retaining petrol subsidy in 2023 will cost Nigeria nearly 6.7 trillion naira. Can our economy absorb this?
Given what we are going through, given how much we are spending servicing the debts that will continue to pile up, we will be in trouble if we continue. The big problem is we don't even know how much we consume, because there is no metrics that the NNPC has come up with, verifiable, empirical in nature, to show that this is how much Nigerians are consuming every day. And you see that more and more people have come out to say we don't believe these figures. If someone like even the Minister of Petroleum Resources could question even the figures, if the number 3 person in the country, Senate President, say that with cameras in front of him, it shows that, look, something is wrong. It's probably, we've been paying subsidy for years, but at no time did it become such a big problem like today. Throughout the Jonathan years and all that, we were paying subsidy, and we made so much noise about subsidy at that time. But the subsidy bill at that time was not even up to half a trillion a year. That's even putting it conservatively. Now, we are in a situation in which we are talking about 6.5 trillion going to subsidy. In my view, the consumption level, according to the NNPC, has so quadrupled that it then means that the subsidy bill has inexorably become much higher than previous years. I still think that even the metrics that they use to arrive at that figure has to be questioned. It has to be subjected to serious scrutiny. Maybe when a new government comes and is subjected to serious scrutiny, and we arrive at the real figure or something closest to the realest figure, maybe it can be managed up to a point. Because, look, what was the subsidy bill for Jonathan when he was there? Let us check it and see what we are paying now. The difference is like night and day. So the difference is just so wide. That's why a lot of people find it unbelievable. Sanusi the other day, the former CBN governor, was also complaining because he brought the consumption level of Pakistan and that of Nigeria, put them side by side. It's just, our own is just, it's not what you tell even a 5-year-old boy, and you convince him that this is real.
There is too much corruption in our system, and that is why that's why we have all these doubts. Even during this Jonathan's time we're talking about, we still remember that there were people that they were just fake fuel.
No, a lot of them did not bring in any product.
That's what I'm saying now.
Or some brought in products, diverted it to Benin Republic,
and they were being prosecuted.
And they collected subsidy payments, but they sold what they brought in at the port in Benin.
It was during that protest.
This is what we do to our country.
The Occupy Lagos protest that this
but the thing is, even as historians, get the subsidy bill of that era. How much was it? I'm telling you, certainly not.
No, I agree
not
with
even
you.
up to 400 billion.
I am saying that if there was corruption at that time, there has to be now. That's what I'm actually trying to drive at. That even during the Jonathan, it was kind of a lot of people were just lying.
Of course, there was, yes.
They were just lying. If it happened then, it means we have to also scrutinize what is going on. So I'm actually backing up what you said.
All right, let's take Benga from Abuja. Hello, Benga.
Good evening
to you.
Good evening to everyone there. Quick one on the issue of kidnapping along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. I believe the involvement of locals are involved, natives are involved, because Chapade to Ibadan boundary, there's nowhere that can be cultivated. There's no jungle there that you can't say nobody have entered before. It means that there's a connection between the locals and some people living around there, maybe some foreigners, like, that's what they call them. But what I'm saying that they should involve the Bale, all the people in the locality area, the villages, should be involved in it, to fish out those people around there.
Thank you very much.
And for the food.
Thank you for your contribution. Gentlemen.